Catherine St. Martin will be starting getting in gear from the 22nd of January until the 3rd of February. What we'll be having coming up October 12th, we'll be having the official launch of the Carnival program, which will be revealing the name of the shows, and on that same day, all the troop leaders will be present with the promoters of these shows. And the promoters at that time will give you the name of their show, and they could have a little way where they could interact with the various medias that are going to be there. And the medias could interview the promoters and also on their show. And that's when, and from that day, we'll be having the real program out with the name. We started launching our Carnival since July 2015. Over the years, folks tell us that we used to do our launching a little too late, so we decided to start it much earlier this year. If anyone need more information, they could contact our Facebook page, which is Carnaval de Sept Martin. For the first time this year, we'll be having a theme for the Children Parade. The theme for the Children Parade is Tropical Forest. Anyone need more information towards the Children Parade, they could contact Cathy on her cellular number 0690 73 03 38. Her number 0690 73 03 38. That's Cathy. She's the one in charge of the Children Parade. For anyone outsider interested in having a senior troop, the Carnival Committee has decided to help the troops with a financial help up to a certain amount. We know over the years the troop leaders always complain that music does cost them the most when it comes to their troop. So we, the committee, has decided that we will meet the troop half the way, at least with 1,500 euros, to help them pay for their music. But we only will be paying this 15 days after Carnival. So you will have to take part in Carnival. We will sign a contract with the person that provided the music for you, and letting that person know that we'll be paying up to 1,500 euros. Anyone interested in joining a troop, you could contact Ricardo Gums. His cellular numbers 0690 30 98 38. And when you contact him, he could give you all the different troop leaders' number, and then you could contact them yourself to see what the costumes look like. So far we have 6 senior troops that register, and in the children troop we already have 10 that register. And we are still asking anyone who is interested in having a troop, feel free to contact Ricardo Gums by 0690 30 98 38. Or you could call me myself on 0690 22 96 15. We have all hands is open for anyone who want to make Carnival 2016 be a great success. We are still looking for Piscinette queens from the age of 6 to 7. Their segment wear will be princess wear, talent, creativity, and carnival wear, which is carnival costume. Anyone interested in getting their children involved, remember the age is from 6 to 7. We are looking for girls to Miss Carnival 2016 from the age of 18 to 25. And we are also looking for young ladies, girls also from the age of 27 up for Miss Pillar size. Don't matter what side of the island you're from. If you're Dutch or French, you could take part in our queen shows. Remember what we said, it's one island. So if you're Dutch, don't feel that questions will be posed to you in French. Everything will be done in English, because 80% of the population speaks English. So we stick to that. And the segment will be business wear, talent, evening wear, and carnival costume. That goes for both of the last queen shows that I name out. And the contact person is Luciana. Her number is 0690 37 55 57, or Claudine Mingo, which is 0690 60.
To stand up. Can we have 50 seconds of silence in memory of our Officer Benjamin? Thank you. Can I ask now, everybody is still standing, just give each other a hand, wish them all peace. So what we say, peace start within. So giving out peace and understanding, and that make it happen, because as we all know in the Rotary, the four-way test is our Bible, and if you use the four-way test all the time, you can get peace internal. Once you have the peace, you can give it out. And peace is something, understand each other and share the peace in the world. Uh, now you can sit. Also, I want to make a remark, like most of the time we have confrontations and so on and so on. Even last week, if you see in the second chamber in Holland, they were attacking St. Martin. One of the members stand up and say, we have to stop making negative remark of St. Martin. Let's see the positive part. And then that is part of peace also. See the positive part of everybody. Everybody have their negative part, but check the positive. And then with the positive, we will reach further in life with everything, because everything has this positive part. So what I want to say is that everybody practice peace. Peace is basically understanding of each other and understanding yourself. And when you have any problem, you attack it from the peace side, the problem is half solved already. But if you attack it violently, you make the problem bigger and bigger, because then nobody will understand you, you will not understand them, and that is a conflict. And conflict are resolvable. So we all can work for peace. And also I want to make a remark that last Saturday we make a human peace sign in the festival center with the youth, with the interactors, Rotarians, and it was a very nice event. I think maybe tomorrow or so it will be in the newspaper, but it's on the Facebook already. So it's everybody contributed to peace. We will have a peaceful year, peaceful event.
Vitamalt takes care of you. And now, check under the marked caps for a chance to win prizes. More detail on press.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guilders real easy. Island Finance. For education, yeah. A renovation. That's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance.
And is there gas concentration? Is that concentration high enough to pose an explosion hazard? Because we have heard that they have been hearing explosion and what have you. So I'm curious. And the landfill fire, I think that has been not going on as much as before, but landfill fires are especially dangerous, like, as they can emit dangerous fumes from the combustion of the wide range of materials contained within the landfill. And that has to be controlled. And I also agree, and this is now personal, I'm also living in the very close proximity of the pond. And for over 30 years, I have been breathing in all that toxic. So one of the person like MP Leona, I'm also one of them that has to deal on a daily basis, and I see someone in your panel also. that has to do that. So how can we get solution in very short term to resolve this problem? For me, it's very important to resolve this problem as soon as possible because my family is also, and I have neighbors and other people, they are getting uitslag on their body due to the toxic situation there. My grandson is now, I've taken him to the doctor 2 days ago, and doctor says he is getting the start of an asthmatic situation. So yes, it has a lot of influence on my family. My daughter is also suffering from the fumes that is coming from there. And lately, the porn film, Mr. Chairman, has a stench, terrible stench. I know it is for good reason. That's why I'm not complaining, because it's due to the hurricane situation that they have dried it so that if rain come, that it could come. But it has also correlation with the height of the garbage, because when it's the height and there's a lot of rain, we suffer. We suffer, and I don't think that the pumps could hold all that water, take out that water. So I have a problem with the height of that garbage that is getting higher and higher and higher.
Over the years, you've also learned, Mr. Chair, that there are many different technologies. And many companies have come to St. Martin and all of them have stated that their technology was the greatest, is the greatest, and continue to show interest. And I can remember on one of the cases where we had, I believe in 2010, I believe it was, there was a solution with a company that had put forward a bid to government, and I believe had actually won the first round, and that was a joint partnership with, I believe at that time, Windward Roads. And then it turns out that the plant itself was never really functional. Now, Minister, I just want to give you one word of advice, that while Parliament and the people of St. Martin, and I think you are also concerned of the dump itself, the decision that government will make will be an everlasting decision for St. Martin, because that facility is not going to be a small facility. It is not going to have a small price tag, and it will come for a price tag, because there is no free lunch or utopia that people want you to believe that it's free of charge. There is going to be a charge to it. And I believe it behooves you, government, and the steering committee to make sure that the technology that is used does not get worse than what we have right now. And make sure that that technology is a proven, working technology that will be able, that is also affordable to the population of St. Martin. And I could remember, like I stated again, in 2010, that we went to see the plant, and one of the most beautiful plants that I can remember seeing, and a colleague of mine reminded me of when we saw it, and I could remember asking the question of where's the garbage, and there was never garbage in the plant. And it came out that after months of discussions and negotiations, that the boiler system never worked in the plant, so government never continued with that project. So it could have been finalized in 2010, and then I believe, or 2011, but I then believe that government went on again to look for a new bidding process. Now, at the time, I can remember, I think, what are we in now, 2015, GB itself was only turned over in 100% ownership to the St. Martin government, I think about 2 years ago. MP Lake, you can remind me of that date. But I remember the discussions with GB about the power purchase agreement to make this plant feasible and possible on the dump was one of the main criteria that was needed in order to finance the project. Now, in discussions with the companies that had actually moved on forward, there is something called cost of capital, Mr. Chair. And if you have, for example, these companies, not companies, sorry, these hedge funds and that are financing renewable energy projects in the US, and they want a return on their investment, a return on their capital of nearly 20%, that cost is going to be passed on via the PPA, via the power purchase agreement. And if you just to give you a quick example, if you were to take a plant, a construction value of $100 million, and you take that at 5.5%, which is rates that our own government companies have been able to get over the last few years, and you put it over a 20-year period, you would be paying approximately on a monthly charge of close to $700,000, to be exact, $687,885. That now you have to divide over the electricity that is going to be sold to the consumer, because it's going to be sold to GB, let's say at, I've been hearing the number 36 cents, 38 cents. GB is then going to pass that on with its cost of administration, distribution, whatever else, and you'll probably get at least another 15, 20 cents on top of that. So now you're at a rate of 56 cents. So 8 megawatts of power that will come out of the plant are going to be sold back to the consumer. So it is not a free plant that is not going to cost the community anything. Oh yes, it is going to cost. Now the question is that you need to negotiate and you need to look in terms of what they are bringing to the table. So the question would be, has negotiations gone as far as making sure that, say, listen, we too in St. Martin have the ability to raise capital. We too in St. Martin have the opportunity to be able to come up with solutions, to be able to bring down the value of the pricing that will be passed on to the consumer, because at the end of the day, it's going to be passed on to the consumer. Have those discussions been taking place? The main thing in that you need a working relationship between the company that distributes electricity, which is GBE, and this company that will be doing our garbage. Now, if you look at the construction of presently of our water plant in St. Martin, it is owned by a foreign company, but operated by the personnel of GB. And I'm saying, well, why couldn't we do a similar situation with the technology that will be able to make waste to energy? Because again, at the end of the day, it is the production of electricity. You can use your own local people. If we're talking about nation building, if we're talking about the creation of that, one, we can look at partly financing it through pension funds, SZV, local banks, things like that, on St. Martin, that the community of St. Martin makes back some of the money, and that our people itself get the ability to be able to be taught how to operate the plant.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
In my opinion, everything is perfect and you would be great for the job. But I see here that there's a 2-year gap in your resume. What did you do?
I was hospitalized for mental illness.
Oh, mental illness?
I've undergone treatment and I have a wonderful family that supports me.
Well, that is good news.
No, it's fine. I'm recovered.
We'll contact you, okay?
For a better understanding of mental health and what you can do to stop mental health stigma, please go to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guineas really easy. Island Finance. For education, a renovation. That's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance.
On behalf of the Down Street Community Council, we'd like to welcome you guys here today at the opening at the Clarence Fair. I'm going to be very short because we have so many other people to speak. Again, I would like to thank each and every one of you for coming here. And again, I would like to say on behalf of the Down Street Association, welcome and enjoy yourself today.
On behalf of Geraldine Williams, better known as Bina and family, my family and friends, I would like to say a few words about my stepdad. Dad was a man of many names. Some probably, most of you will know him as Walter Plants, the fisherman, the barber, or Bobo. He was a kind and loving person. He was loved by all, especially children. He always had sweets in his pocket for when children are just passing or just stop him. He had a good sense of humor and loved his bears, especially Miller Lite, Coast Light, etc. He will always say he is 6 months on vacation twice a year. He lived most of his life down street, not too far from the standard jetty. Walter Williams was a fishing legend. He loved the sea, a fisherman to heart. Fishing was his passion. At the tender age of 14, he went to work with his mother, my grandmother, picking salt in the salt pond and taking it on their head to the small pier, now known as the Captain Hutch Pier. The salt was then shipped to the islands. His first job was carrying around telegrams. He had to walk from Phillipsburg to Bellevue to take the telegram to Mr. Fleming. He told me that his first guilder that he earned, he held it so tight in his hand while rushing home to give his mother that she could not hold it because it was so hot. He just wanted to give her his first pay.
On the matter of the appointment of the 3 members of the Integrity Chamber, as I've stated before, that has not happened as yet. Consultations are still ongoing, and it cannot be done either formally, simply because the law has a 6-week period, waiting period, to allow the Ombudsman to investigate whether in the law there are aspects that must be challenged before the Constitutional Court. Mr. Richard Berena has indeed been appointed and has been working, and the requested update will be given. That request has been sent to him to give us a most recent update on the progress that has been made in that regard. How long will it take for the Integrity Chamber to become operational? That is due to a number of factors. The chamber itself, as far as the members are concerned, that can happen reasonably quick after the 6 weeks period once we've established the names of the person who will be a member of the chamber. The recruitment of personnel is naturally a different matter, and that can take some more time. How much will it cost to establish the integrity chamber? Through budget amendments, it is the intention of the government to make 1 million guilders available for that.
And you probably could have read this morning in the newspapers that the Dutch government has made substantially much more available for the integrity chamber. Important is that the integrity chamber can operate independently, and that is the law that we've put in place. It is the integrity chamber who appoints their staff. Payment takes place by the government of St. Martin and by the Dutch government, but that does not give us leverage to influence the activities of the integrity chamber. Member of Parliament Westcott Williams asks, what is the status of the project for the cameras, for the security cameras? As I've stated, I believe the last time, the national decree awarding the execution of the project to the Talem group of companies has been established and corresponded to the management of Talem, and they will start up with the detailing and finalizing of the project. There's a global plan for the execution of the project, but naturally things as cameras, what kind of cameras, fiber optic cables, and all those things need to be put into place, and that can now start. That could not start before, as it was not certain who would be executing the project. What is the status of the shooting range? We have decided to purchase the Soromar building in the Cold Bay area, and in that Soromar building, among others, the shooting range will be stationed, the forensic lab for the police will be built, and the logistical center of the police force, in which the camera projects all will come together as well, where they can direct from there. That will all be put in that building. The building will cost about 2 million guilders, and there's about 4.1, 2 or 3 million guilders available for the establishing of these facilities. That is based on the approved capital expenditure budget of 2014. Sorry, dollars. I said guilders, dollars.